How we doing, DBZ Nation family? How we doing, DBZ Nation family? I want to thank y'all for watching this video, and I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. And we're gonna talk about the new Resident Evil game, Requiem. Some call it Resident Evil 9, but I want to give an honest review about the game. Now it's been out it's been out for about a good week, about a week and a half. And, I've been looking at different gameplay and looking at different people reviewing the game. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion so far. Now, I haven't actually played the video game on PlayStation. I'm aware that it's on Switch 2. I heard it actually runs pretty good on Switch 2. I heard it's on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Steam, all the above. And the graphics, as you look in here, look very, very realistic. If you look at Grace right here, you can clearly see that her jawline, lips, eyes, eyebrows, hair, all have a very, very realistic look to it. And I'm going to give you a little bit of the good and a little bit of the bad about this new Resident Evil game. Some may agree, some may disagree, but this is a channel where we allow everyone to have their opinion, and we respect your opinion, whether you agree with me or not. Now, again, it looks very, very realistic. Now, my favorite Resident Evil is Resident Evil 4. For the simple fact, 4 had a lot of features that I was hoping that I would see in the Resident Evil 9 video game, Requiem. And, of course, in Resident Evil 4, it has many, many side stories that you can play. Like, I know a lot of y'all heard of the Mercenaries. And the Mercenaries in Resident Evil 4 is probably one of my favorite additions to the Resident Evil franchise. Now, of course, I love Resident Evil Village. Was probably one of my favorite games after 4. Of course, the GOAT, Resident Evil 2 is another great addition to the Resident Evil franchise that I really, really like. But, a lot of people are saying that they wish that Grace probably would have had a different storyline. Maybe they could have made her a little bit more attractive in the video game. And I have to agree with that to a certain extent, because when you look at the gameplay on the new Resident Evil 9, Grace really doesn't have a lot of appeal as far as visually to the eye. Now, I think a lot of that have to do with some of the wokeness in the gaming community, because whenever someone tries to do a video game to show a woman, that looks good, sort of like what was that game I just played the other day? I done forgot the name. But some of y'all may know it. I think it's called Blade or something like that. Oh, I'm sorry, Stellar Blade. Yeah, the name is called Stellar Blade. Now, Stellar Blade was an excellent game. Of course, the main protagonist, the main character, she was very, very beautiful, very attractive. Some of the skins that you can get were very, very nice. But, I'm one of those guys, if I pick up a video game and it has a female protagonist or a female character, I would like to see that character very, very pretty, especially with the technology that we have available today. But, some people may disagree, but I do think that Grace in this new Resident Evil game, I think they could have lightened her up a little bit, where she was just a little bit more appealing to the eyes, in my humble opinion. And I believe the game is rated mature, if I'm not mistaken, which meaning that you have to be at least 17 years old to purchase the video game. But if you look at Grace in the new Resident Evil, you know, there were a lot of scenes that I think that that Capcom could have gave her just a little bit more appeal to the eyes as far as male gamers like myself is concerned. What if Grace actually looked like this? What if Grace looked like this in the game? Now, of course, the game is selling real good right now. A lot of people are playing the game. I believe it has a 9 out of 10 right now overall rating. But there are a lot of male gaming creators who are saying that Grace isn't very visually appealing to the game, which make them don't want to replay it. Now, of course, the gameplay looks excellent. Like I said, again, it looks very realistic. I think they put a lot of resources, time, care, and thought into the game. But again, like I say, you know, I would have loved if they would have put just a little bit more emphasis, a little bit more visual eye candy, if I can say that, a little more visual eye candy to Grace. That would make some of the male gamers, you know, not want to replay this game. Again, if you play Resident Evil Village or Resident Evil 4, you know, it is what it is. Now, this lady here, allegedly, this is the lady who they modeled Grace after for the new Resident Evil Requiem game. Now, you could correct me in the comment section, but Grace Ashcroft, this is the actual face of the model. I believe her name is Julia Pratt or something like that. But this is the actual woman that they designed Grace around. Now, if you look at Grace in the new Resident Evil game and you look at the model who actually, you know, who was the model face for her, and you can see a clear difference in the actual visual appeal that Capcom decided to go with. Now, again, this is just my honest opinion, but it would have been nice to see Grace in the Resident Evil game with her lips maybe a little bit more perky, maybe her body shape a little bit more vivid, a little bit more, you know, pleasing to the eye. But I understand that there's a lot of wokeness going on in gaming right now, and some gaming companies probably stray away from that. Now, one good thing I can say about the new Resident Evil game, you can play as this particular Resident Evil character from Resident Evil Village. She is available. I have seen her gameplay in the new Resident Evil 9 game. And I think that's one good thing about it. And I think the reason that they put this particular lady in the Resident Evil 9 game is because she's a little bit more appealing to the male the male game players of Resident Evil. And if you played Resident Evil Village, you was very satisfied with the visual eye candy that Resident Evil Village provided. And, you know, them allowing this DLC, allowing you to play as Lady Di as Lady Di Trescy. I'm sorry, CU. Sometimes I have trouble pronouncing her last name because it's French, but y'all clearly know where I'm coming from. You can play as her, as this character y'all seen on the new Resident Evil 9 game. Now, why is that? Because a lot of people are saying that Grace needs to be upgraded. A lot of people are saying that they wish they had, you know, someone look like her in the new Resident Evil 9 game. And like I say, just look at Grace right now with this hair, with this navy blue, I don't know, suit on with the white shirt. And she really doesn't look all that appealing. And look at to the right. Look at the character design in Resident Evil Village. Look at the difference. And a lot of people play Resident Evil Village. A lot of people replay it because they love the visual eye candy that it provides. And I really think that Resident Evil Requiem falls short of that. Now, again, the gameplay is awesome. The visuals are awesome. It looks great on the PlayStation 5. It looks great on the Nintendo Switch. It looks good on Xbox. It looks great on PC. But do I think that, do I agree with some of the sentiment that they should make Grace a little bit more appealing, or maybe drop a DLC to give her some new outfits, give her a new look? I do, because she does look a little rough around the edges. Now, salute to everyone who bought the game. This is just my humble opinion. And, you could, tell me what you think in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe to DBZ Nation. I'm always dropping new videos and going live all the time on my channel. And I would love to know how y'all feel about it. Do you think Grace should be a little bit more appealing? Do you think they need to redesign her, maybe drop a DLC to give her some new outfits or something like that? But overall, like I said again, I'll give the game a solid 7 out of 10. I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10 just because the graphics are good. It looks realistic. But like I said, the main characters, of course, this is just how I feel. And so I want to talk to y'all about one more thing. And, again, I'm glad that they had Raccoon City in the new Resident Evil game. But again, if you are a fan of Resident Evil, what do you think is the best Resident Evil? I would love to know. Do you think it's Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Resident Evil Village, or this new Resident Evil Requiem game? And why do you think that? Again, my favorite and still the GOAT right now is Resident Evil 4, just because of all the visuals and all the different things that you can do. But I would love to know what y'all think about it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And honestly, some ask me, well, are you going to get the game? I am going to get the game, but I'm probably going to wait for the game to be discounted. The game just came out, so I'll probably wait maybe another month or two, maybe when the game drops in price, maybe, because right now the game is kind of expensive, and I kind of want to get the game when it's maybe half off, or at least 30–40% off. But that's just my humble opinion about this new Resident Evil game. Much love to everybody who played it. And I would love to get some feedback from people who actually played it. All right, y'all. Peace. And thank you for subscribing to DBZ Nation. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. And I'll see y'all again on another video. Peace.